Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Network Tasman wants out of Commerce Commission's grasp, money floods in for beach, Fat Freddy's a sellout, and more. Network Tasman Trust is responsible for transmitting power along the power lines and charges its user shareholders to do so. Now it's looking at changing its trust deed to exempt itself as a lines company from some controls currently imposed upon it by the Commerce Commission. Some Tasman residents aren't pleased about the way the company's process in notifying shareholders of changing the trust deed has been handled. Chrissy Small spoke to Network Tasman Trust shareholder Lou Solomon about this proposed change and what he feels that could mean for its shareholders.
I have Lou Solomon here, who is a Wakefield resident and a concerned shareholder of the Network Tasman Trust. Lou, your concerns were raised when Network Tasman Trust put out a notice to say that they wanted submissions on whether the trust deed should be changed to, well, I guess to get rid of controls put upon it by the Commerce Commission.
Mm-hmm.
Where are your concerns coming from?
Well, my initial concern, Chrissy, was around the fact that the initial public notice, which was given, merely said we invite submissions on changing the trust deed, but didn't tell us any of the consequences of doing so. And what came first up is that one of the consequences of that would be that when and if all of the trustees are elected, then Network Tasman Limited can be exempt from price and quality controls that the Commerce Commission currently has.
Right.
Yes. And that wasn't explained to
the shareholders.
To the shareholders.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and tell me, where was this public notice? Because I missed it.
It was in the Waimea Weekly, and that's where I saw it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and also I assume it was also posted on Network Tasman's website, but
okay.
I saw it on the weekly. Yeah.
Right, so there wasn't a lot of kerfuffle out there in the media about it, obviously.
Absolutely not.
They weren't sending press releases out to us anyway.
No, and I would have thought, well, you'll get a power bill, Chrissy, and I would have thought it would only, either electronically or in the post, it's only a matter of putting a notice in there, but that didn't happen. So I wrote to the Nelson Mail and said, I was concerned about this and that there was a consequence that hadn't been explained to us. And that was then quickly followed up by from memory, a question and answers document that Wayne Mackey, the Chief Executive of Network Tasman, put on their website anyway. I saw that there, plus various releases in the newspaper.
Right. Now we've seen other companies who have gone through the same process, and they now have a free rein to reinvest into other businesses that are outside the core business. This is a bit of a worry.
Well, a lot of people are, of course, concerned about what happened over at Marlborough, and just to recap, they spent, I think, the thick end of $100 million buying 80% of a winery, and that, of course, raised a few hackles, and I think perhaps Network Tasman's timing wasn't that crash hot, however, Network Tasman have pointed out, and it is a fact, that in the company constitution there are limits on the capital expenditure that directors can authorise without kicking it upstairs, if you were, to the shareholders, which would be the trustees, of course.
Right.
And that is, I think, for new ventures, that's 3% of the assets, which is $3 or $4 million or something like that, which is a relatively conservative sum. And I guess that is per year, of course, which would enable the directors to buy something on the drip feed. But certainly there's a lot of head scratching about what happened in Marlborough.
Right. Well, as a person who consumes power, and I'm a shareholder too of Network Tasman Trust, I want regular service, and I want to know that my power's going to be there, and if there's any problems, it's fixed pronto. If I think my company is squandering money, and we're going to see increases in our costs just to keep our power supply happening in some way. So we've got a lot of trust, and we've got to trust a lot in the directorship of Network Tasman, and is that trust going to be well founded?
Well, yes. Of course, the trustees appoint the directors, so we do have that oversight. However, the trustees have no control over the day-to-day operation of the business. Now, of course, it's a slightly bizarre business because, of course, at any one point in time, the shareholders of the business are exactly the same people who are the customers of the business. So any increase in line charge, if you like, means the customers are worse off, but the shareholders in theory are better off, but that's just taking it from one pocket to the other. Any reduction in line charges, you take the money and put it back in the other pockets. With the exception, of course, the IRD gets involved if there's an increase in line charges. So for the benefit of all of us, the line charges should be kept as low as possible. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
No, that's fine. My next question is, so where to from now with the submissions, with the trust deed looking at being changed? Are they going to change it, or are they still waiting on people to submit?
Well, I attended the last meeting of the trustees, which was at the end of last year, and the trustees have received another expert report that has advised them to run the process again and go out again for public submissions, because there were shortcomings in the process, which one of the submitters has pointed out. Gwenny Davis, the chair, has made a statement, I believe, in the press that it will be run again. So I expect that process is imminent. There are some issues that have since come up that do concern me, and with the information that's been given out, and even some information that's in the expert's report, and I will hopefully make that a little more public at a more appropriate time. And I would like to think that the trustees get more submissions this time, because this is a significant business, Chrissy. And if we look around, I would estimate that as a going concern, Network Tasman Limited is worth somewhere between $200 and $300 million as a going concern. And that is somewhere of the order of $10,000 for each consumer. Or shareholder, is the way you look at it. So, I'd like to think there's a little bit more interest out there on what's actually going to happen to their $10,000, and what the plan going forward is for the directors, and we'd like to see from the directors and the trustees some significant reasons as to why they want to change the trust deed, because it's worked fine for the last 18 years. We have relatively low line charges.
That's right.
In Tasman.
That's right, and we all look forward to those Christmas bonuses when we get a discount off our power, and we get a bit of a cheque in the mail.
Well, that's right.
That's right.
And so, I'm shrugging my shoulders and saying, why change? Show me the reason. Now, the only reason that stacks up in my mind is that by being exempt from ComCom price and quality controls, they would avoid direct charges of about $90,000 a year, plus obviously some staff time involved in dealing with the hassle of ComCom's auditors, and that's estimated at $150,000, $160,000 a year, which works out to about $4 per customer per year. It doesn't even buy a cup of coffee.
Right.
And for that, we have ComCom's oversight of price and quality.
Sure.
Now, do we want to give that away and save $4 per customer per year?
I think for peace of mind, I would prefer to see it stay as it is, and if it isn't fit, if it isn't broken, why try and fix it?
Exactly.
And so, so people are going to have their chance to put forward their submissions on it.
I believe so.
So we're talking about people from Richmond onwards, really, aren't we? In that greater area. So,
yes.
So really, if people want things to stay the same, you need to be proactive. If you want to change, then be proactive. Put in a submission. Go to the Network Tasman site and check out what they have to say on it. It was a little bit tricky to find, but if you look under news, I think you can find it.
It is tricky to find. You need to look under disclosures, then Network Tasman Trust,
Yeah.
and then public submissions or something like that. You've got to drill down a little bit.
Yeah,
and
you
be a
do.
bit
It's
patient.
not clear.
No.
It's a bit muddy. So yeah, okay. And well, we'll be talking to you a bit more about this, Lou,
Great.
because it is a big issue. A company worth that much money that is the shareholders as users. We want to see the right decisions.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
for the right reasons.
Yes. Well, when the trustees come out and request submissions, well, I'll be happy to come in and have a chat again and perhaps point out some of the questions and that, and
Yeah.
questions that need to be answered. yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I believe there were around 64 submissions made in the previous before the previous last meeting, and about 59% of those, well, 59 of those were against the change. So, yeah, so be heard. Have
Yeah,
a
that's
say.
right. Well, there's 38,000 consumers out there,
Yeah,
38,000 shareholders, so I'd like to see several hundred submissions anyway from a group that size.
well, it'd be good to see people actually have a say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Lou.
You're welcome, Chrissy.
I asked some people in Richmond their thoughts on the proposal to change the Network Tasman Trust deed.
Well, I don't believe in it. I think things are the way they are now are quite satisfactory.
No, I think they should just leave it as is. Yeah, I'm not not very interested in it though. But no, I don't think that they should change.
Just invest in the electricity grid and stay being a provider?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Well, they've got to get modern technology and start shifting like a lot of people have. I hope they don't lose any money.
But do you think it's all right to invest in things outside the electricity providers, normal things that they invest in?
I don't know, I guess it creates diversity.
Oh, I think they should put it to their beneficiaries, really, and ask them the question.
You reckon some sort of survey or referendum?
Yeah, at least good discussion and, fairly healthy public consultation.
And how about personally, what do you think about them being able to invest in things outside of electricity?
I haven't seen what they're proposing, really, but at initial thought it would seem unnecessary to go beyond what they're charged with doing in delivering power, really.
A ceremony welcoming home for the last time a truly good guy saw more than 500 people turn out to celebrate the life of local mountain biking legend Kelly McGarry on Monday's Waitangi Day holiday at Wakefield's Recreational Reserve. In a fitting tribute, over 100 mountain bike riders were a guard of honour and then escorted the wooden casket containing Kelly on the back of his father's Chevrolet Ute to the memorial service in his old Wakefield hometown. Many there were still in shock by Kelly McGarry's sudden death from a cardiac arrest while riding the Fernhill Loop track in Queenstown, a week to the day of Monday's ceremony. Marlborough police have removed the body from a car found burning in a lay-by off State Highway 1 at Tua Marina Sunday morning. The body has been transported to Christchurch for a post-mortem examination Tuesday this week. The investigation into the cause of the fire continues, and at this stage the cause is yet to be established. Tasman Police spokeswoman Barbara Dunn said firefighters were called to the scene of the burning vehicle around 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Inquiries were continuing to identify the body. Police wish to talk to someone who may have noticed anyone in or near the white Toyota Corolla station wagon Sunday morning. Please phone Brennan Police if you have any information. Only days to go to the deadline, but the men behind a Give a Little page set up to buy back Aroa Beach and donate it to the public are confident that they will raise the $2 million needed to purchase a slice of paradise in the able Tasman this week. Despite Environment Minister Nick Smith suggesting that money from the government's Natural Heritage Fund could get the campaign over the line. The men were on the beach in the past week to meet with locals from the area, one of whom handed over a cheque for $700 to be added to the campaign. Meanwhile, campaign organisers have been in contact with the staff at the Office of the Environment Minister and the Conservation Minister, but as yet no funding has been received. The men said there will definitely be further talks with the ministers over the coming weeks to hopefully gain additional funding that they may need to purchase the beach. As of Tuesday morning, the Give a Little page was up to $1.3 million thanks to more than 21,000 people having donated to the cause. Over 2,200 concert goers enjoyed hypnotic reggae tones on a warm summer Friday evening, listening and dancing to the music of Wellington band Fat Freddy's Drop at Newdorf Vineyards. The crowd of people of all ages, from the very young through to the elderly, joined in with the groove of the sounds while enjoying the vineyard's surroundings. Chrissy Small caught up with Fat Freddy's band member Hohepa Friday afternoon about the tour.
Hopepa, welcome to Nelson. Is this your first time here?
No, I've been here a few times now. I love it every time we come though.
Well, we're not far from Old Wellington actually, as the crow flies. We're pretty much on the same north bit of terrain.
Yeah, I think you're actually even more north here than we are in Wellington, or it feels like it anyways. No, it's great.
Now, okay, so when did the tour kick off?
Well, we've been doing weekenders since just after Christmas really, but yeah, this is the first of the first gig of the last weekend of our winery tour of New Zealand, which is great. So we're doing Newdorf tonight, and then tomorrow we go down to Queenstown, play Queenstown on Sunday. So that's great.
Great. Well, it'll be buzzy down there, won't it?
Yeah. We always love it down there too. It's like, yeah, it's great to be on the mainland, anyways.
Yeah, well, that's right. It is the mainland, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Now, tell me a bit about what the shows and the lineup in the show, and are you going to give us any of your new album?
Yeah, there'll be lots of new album. We've been playing a good selection actually. It's been really fun. The show's been going really well. We played on Waiheke Island last weekend and it was just outrageous. So, yeah, we're looking forward to tonight. And yeah. So you'll hear new songs. You'll also hear a favourite band of ours called The Nudge. They were on before us, so they're great. They're a real kind of swampy, psychedelic rock band, which are really cool. And yeah, we'll play a good mix of stuff from the new album and stuff from our previous albums as well.
Okay, and I believe you've got a new video coming out.
Yes, it's just been released today, I think, or yesterday. It's the video for 10 Feet Tall, and it's beautiful actually. It's been shot by a friend of ours called Jess Bluck, a very talented filmmaker, and it's beautifully shot, and it's actually got my little boy in it. So if you can spot someone who looks like me, that'll be him.
I bet he won't have the same growth though.
No, not the same beard. That's for sure.
Okay, so Hopepa, tell me a bit about the band, how it came into formation.
Oh, this is back in the midst of time. We've been together for a long time now.
Well, a lot of new Kiwis won't know, so we're about to educate them. We've got quite a few new ones around here, I must admit.
Yeah. Well, we've been going almost 15 years now. Started as a small jam band around Wellington, and grew to the beast it is now.
And it is a beast, isn't it? I mean, when you think about it, you've got quite a lineup, and also members from other bands. You're kind of a mixing pot of music.
Yeah. Well, when we first started, it was it was kind of like everyone's second band, and then until it became had a mind of its own. But yeah, so we've all, as Wellingtonians, we've got like many different bands just to pay the bills. But now we're pleased to say that Freddy's is our main act.
Right, and it's not only paying the bills, but is it bringing some really good return for you as a musician?
Oh, I mean, you're always just really lucky to be able to do it for a job. You know, it's a real. Every time I get to step on stage and go, wow, this is my job, it's pretty special. So that's a really good thing. It's like you do it for the love, but it's also great to be able to do that. You know, to do it full time. So.
Well, I kind of think, it's a tough one because, you go through your life learning to be a good musician, and you're really happy if you get $100 a gig.
Yeah.
And but as you get known, of course, it does have its payoffs.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's just a matter of sticking with it. I think I personally, I just purposely got. Basically, made it difficult for me to do any other job. I don't really know how to do anything else, so I was kind of like basically do it or bust, really. So, and luckily, I was really lucky to get in the band that I was and to work with the people that I've worked with, and the career's been great. It's been a real honour actually.
And of course today, while in the middle of the between the two bands, there'll be a collection going around for the Musicians Foundation.
Yeah, that's a great worthy cause. So really proud to be supporting Musicians Foundation. So yeah.
Okay, and of course, we've had the likes of Chris Knox who've suffered big knocks, and this foundation is a way of supporting those musicians.
Yeah, totally, and it's a way of supporting musicians that have fallen on hard times. It's, and that's cool. I think it's really good as a community to be able to do that as well. So, yeah.
And not forgetting the young, of course, because money goes back into the youth, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's a great cause.
And one day, some of those kids out there watching this,
wow,
they could be in your position another 10 or 15 years.
Undoubtedly, and I just, I can't wait. I'm always really excited to see the new talent coming through as well. So that's always, very excited to see where the music's going to go in the next little while. So yeah.
The cable car at Happy Valley Adventures on Cable Bay Road became stuck last Sunday evening when its relay burnt out, causing the emergency brakes to default, leaving 4 people to become stuck mid-air at late afternoon. The 4 adults remained unharmed and were finally brought to the ground safely after emergency services and a mechanic were called. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. For more information, please contact Shirley on 547 1433 or 021 121 8023.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan, and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
We're the team at J-Car, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. J-Car.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Nelson Tire Center, great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer, all types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Hi, I'm Graham from Classic Gates Engineering. We specialise in all sorts of engineering, classic gates, balustrades, pool fences, do structural engineering, house lots of structural steel work, swimming pool fences. We also do firebox repairs, garden furniture, archways, etc. So for powder coating, sandblasting, all sorts of paintwork, call in to see us, 6 Nelson Street, Blenheim, Classic Gates Engineering.